Jeritza is a complicated character. He's Mercedes' older brother, real name Emil, and, well, for complicated reasons, he wound up killing his own father when he was young to try and save his sister. Since that day, Jeritza has had a very troubled mental state, to put it bluntly. He developed an insatiable lust for battle that eventually manifested into its own persona, the Death Knight. Whether or not this counts as some form of DID, well, I'm not really qualified to say. The point is, Jeritza has a lot going on, and trying to gauge how well his design reflects that is a tricky affair. By default, Jeritza wears what appears to be a variation of the Knights of Saros armor. Though he's technically meant to be a combat instructor at the academy and not a knight like Catherine or Eloise, it does make sense for him to wear the colors given his association with the church. That said, all the additional red he's got mixed into a design might be a subtle indicator that his real allegiance lies with the Empire, or more specifically, Edelgard's faction. The outfit itself isn't awful, though it's nothing too amazing either. Jeritza seems to be rocking primarily cloth armor, implying a bigger emphasis on mobility over sturdier forms of protection. That said, he does have the standout singular shoulder pauldron and gauntlets that look decently protective, even if I'm not really sure how the former is staying attached. He's also got the one big half sleeve on his right arm that looks decently fancy without appearing too cumbersome. Honestly, Jeritza's design as a whole seems to incorporate a lot of asymmetry, which may be a subtle allusion to his conflicting personalities being out of balance. The mask he wears pre-time skip is also likely an allusion to this. Despite all of that, Jeritza does manage to look the part of a combat instructor, minus the dress shoes. Seriously, could we not have just given him combat boots? But, of course, if we're talking about Jeritza, we have to address his alter ego, the Death Knight. Although, in this case, I think a picture is worth 1,000 words here. This guy is by far the edgiest design in the entire game. A pitch black set of armor covered in spikes, a billowing, tattered blood-red scarf, and a skull mask with devil horns coming out of it. He also wields a freaking scythe as a weapon, as if the point weren't obvious enough. It would be really easy to mock Jeritza for just how try-hard this attire is, except it honestly kind of works. For as excessive as it may be, the armor doesn't actually look all that cumbersome, especially not on horseback, and it does serve the purpose of making Jeritza look inhuman at a glance. In a way, it almost works as a parallel to Byleth, the so-called Ashen Demon, whom the Death Knight considers to be his only possible equal. The armor is effectively Jeritza fully embracing the monster he believes himself to be. It's also somewhat fitting that, despite playing up the whole motif of a harbinger of death, the Death Knight's true purpose is seeking an opponent that can bring about his own demise. The only question is who even made this armor for him in the first place. Overall, Jeritza's design is kind of a mixed bag. His academy uniform is fine, but nothing exceptional. It gets a C. The Death Knight is pure edgelord nonsense, but it knows what it's supposed to be and fully embraces that, which I can respect. He gets a B.